Hey guys, there's no secret that there's no subway that takes you to Arrowhead Stadium, and so transportation could hurt Kansas City in trying to make the goal in landing a World Cup game in 2026.
Imagine a Super Bowl in Kansas City, and now imagine 5 of them in 1 month.
The 2026 World Cup may be years away, but the real work is going on right now.
So we've put over $400 million of investment into soccer facilities. We have the second highest youth soccer participation rate in the nation per capita.
KC has hosted big events before.
We just had 2 World Series and an All-Star game in recent years.
But the World Cup is a different beast. Dubbed the soccer capital of the U.S., Kansas City has a lot of competition. This map shows who we are competing against to host a quarterfinal or third-place game. David Ficklin is the bid director for KC. He says 10 cities will be picked. In a preliminary evaluation, Kansas City scored high for the stadium and FanFest experience. We also just learned where FanFest could be. It'll either be at Liberty Memorial or in front of the Nelson Atkins.
Both will be on the streetcar line by 2026, and both can accommodate tens of thousands of people.
But what the city did not do well on was transportation and accommodations.
We're building a new convention hotel. How are people going to get in and out of town earlier? So we're building a new airport terminal.
Ficklin says other World Cup host cities have won bids without rail transportation.
Most recently in Brazil, where you take a shuttle bus system from, you can do it from satellite locations.
The bid will be announced in 2020, but in the coming months, FIFA officials will come to Kansas City and our competitors. So we hope to learn if we'll get that bid for 2026 very soon. Reporting live, Stephen Dial, 41 Action News. In 2018, we want more things brought to us. Well, what about liquor at your doorstep?
It's easy access, and I can stay home and maybe watch a Chiefs game and have some drinks brought to me.
Liquor delivery is legal in Missouri, but Kansas City law makes it complicated.
When you purchase alcohol, that purchase must actually take place, meaning the signing of the documents or the exchange of cash must take place in the retail establishment.
Wednesday, a city council committee could take the first step in deciding if the law should change. Michael Dewam is the owner of Mike's Wine and Spirits.
Well, it's another stream of revenue.
There's a lot of delivery apps out there like Uber Eats. Well, this one is called Drizzly, and what it does, it brings alcohol to your doorstep. But the question is, what about a teen answering the door?
Our people are trained now to check for IDs. They'll be the ones making the delivery, and when they make the delivery on the Drizzly app, you can scan their ID right there at the point of sale.
Drizzly is already in operation in cities like Nashville, Boston, and Baltimore. We talked to parents about the idea.
I don't think the delivery thing is a bad idea in general, but yeah, I guess just out of concern for people who are alcoholics.
It's hard for moms to get to the liquor stores with their children, I guess. If you're throwing a party and you're in and out of alcohol, maybe the ease of it. So I could see me using it.
Well, if you live in Kansas, not so fast. If you live in Kansas, Johnson County, every county, liquor deliveries still are illegal. The only runaround to it is if you buy it from a farm winery. That's the only way that you can get it to your doorstep, and it can only be shipped. Reporting live, Stephen Dial, 41 Action News.
Broadway is a major artery in Kansas City, moving traffic north and south. But a plan could narrow how much room these cars have on this boulevard, from 4 lanes to 2, while keeping the turning lane, and make space for bicyclists on both sides.
People do not feel safe biking on many of our city streets.
Eric Bunch is the policy director for Bike Walk KC, who gave input on this plan, and he emphasizes this is mostly about safety.
It makes it more comfortable for people walking or biking because we can allocate more space for pedestrians by taking away a little bit of space that's been dedicated for driving through.
But along this route is Westport, a popular district where some businesses want to put the brakes on this plan.
They have to carefully consider what it's going to do for the flow of traffic, parking, and people getting in and out of Westport.
David Hawley owns Papa Kino's Pizzeria and says the #1 complaint he hears from his customers is the lack of parking, and believes removing street lanes would mean a dip in business.
Making it easy for our customers to get here, get parked, that's one of the most important things, is making it easy to get into our businesses.
People we talked to in Westport seem mixed about the idea, but visitor Jarrell Fry thinks the road diet will do more than slim down the roads.
I think it will have more people doing exercising. You know, people need to basically lose weight, but you know what I'm saying? But I think it's a great idea.
They want to turn things around. They want November to go smoothly, and they've been working with their computer system, a software election provider, and they believe that the problem during the primary will not happen again. The sting of the August primary election is still fresh in the minds of Johnson County election officials and Johnson County voters. It took days to get a final vote count, and the election board does not want a repeat performance in November. Election systems and software executives said a software issue caused the massive delay in August, and they have reprogrammed that software so it will not refresh too often.
We are very confident that we have addressed the issue. As I said, we've entered the certification process. We're confident that we'll get that accomplished.
Wednesday, federal election officials will be in Olathe at the Johnson County Election Office, checking the software and watching more tests to see how it performs. Voters in November will also notice more workers at the polls.
We will have an additional 1,000 workers in the field. In addition to the 1,200 that we had in the primary, we'll bump that up to just over 2,000. And then we will have all of the voting machines that are available on Election Day will be placed in the field at 195 locations for the voters in Johnson County.
Now, those precinct workers will also get extra training before November, and they're being asked to arrive extra early at the precinct so they can be ready and their equipment can be ready when the polls open at 7 a.m. on November 6th. Cynthia Newsome, 41 Action News.
Whether it's working in a hospital or practicing on these fake patients, Emily Razavi is preparing for a career of helping others.
It is such a gift to be able to help people through some of the most vulnerable moments in their life. And in nursing, you get to do that every day.
But her soon-to-be profession is in need of some first aid. There are not enough nurses in Kansas, Missouri, and across the country.
Not only is it continuing, but it's growing.
The University of Kansas School of Nursing is working on a cure for the shortage, teaming up with community colleges, like in KCK, to allow students to earn associate's degrees while working towards their nursing degree.
Those shortages for the public create a deficit in primary care, create a deficit in acute care in hospitals.
There is one other complication aggravating this problem. Even if more students opt to go back to school, there's a shortage of faculty, meaning schools like KU are limited in how many students they can teach.
The shortage is going to decrease quality of care and decrease availability of care.
It's a critical problem Emily Razavi hopes will improve with her being part of the solution.
It's helpful as a future professional, certainly. Not so helpful, I think, as a future patient. I mean, at some point we'll all be in a hospital, probably.
Ariel Rothfield, 41 Action News.